Hi guys, welcome to the new video, and in this video we are going to build a project that is a rock paper scissors game. So let's see how it looks like. As you can see how our project look like, and if I select on rock, my choice, the user's choice is rock and the bot plays as its own, and the result is draw. Similarly, if I go for another one, as you can see I won this, and this is how this will be working. So let's get started with our project. So before getting started, I would like to remind you that I am going to use Visual Studio Code for this project, and before getting started we'll have to install a server, that is live server, and you'll have to just type here and install this extension. The first thing we need to do here is that let's create a directory here where we can set up our project. So let's give them a rock only, simple name. Let's open this directory and let's head over to command prompt and let's open Visual Studio Code from here like so. Now just let me give a specific width to both of them so that we can simultaneously code and see the changes taking place. So the first thing we need to do is that create an index.js file here. This index.js file will be containing all the components we require for changing or anything we do with related to JavaScript. And the next thing is that we'll have to create is index.html. This will be providing the structure to our project we are going to build on. And the next thing we are going to create is the styles.css like so, and this will be giving our styling to the content we have designed here. So the first thing is that let's create index.html like so. Let's give it a heading title, that is a rock paper scissors like so. And to simultaneously see the changes occurring and the code we write, we have to right click here and go to open live server here, and you'll see a new tab opening in your default browser like so. Now the next thing is that let's head over to our project, and the first thing is that we have to create this heading. So let me just copy it and let's just create a heading tag here like so, and just see what changes it is made. So you can see here it is showing here rock paper scissors. Now in order to add styling, we have to first link that style to our HTML file. So in order to do that, so link CSS, and we'll have the path mentioned here, style.css. Let's save it and let's now give styling to our newly created h4 tag, that is let's align this in center. So for that we use text align, that is center like so, and you can see it has aligned in center. So next thing is that we'll have to create the images or the clickable images for selecting them. So as you can see, as I have selected here, it redirects us and produces the output here. So for that we'll have to create images. For that I will now simply create divisions, and inside that I will create images. For now we don't need to specify sources for each images. Let's give the alternate only. Similarly I'll go for paper and scissors. Let me just modify this, paper and here scissors, so like so. And you can see here we have these three components here, three image components. So the next thing is that we'll have to give some spacing in between them. So for that let's add id here in the name of section here. Now let's just head over to style to give a particular styling to the contents of the division we made, that is for section, and we'll give a display of flex here, and we'll justify our content to be spaced around. And after saving this, we can see here we have a space between these objects, but we don't need a whole width of this, we only need a small width. So in order to do that, the first thing we have to do is that specify our max width, that is let's say 600 pixels, and you can see here it is not taking a whole lot of space now. And in order to align this in the center, we'll have to write a code, that is margin that is, we'll have to specify 20 pixels in top and down and auto in left and right, so that it is placed in center, so like so. And you can see it is aligned in center and also not taking much width. So after that, let's link our index.js file to the index.html. For that, let's create here script. We talk about script, and here we'll give it a source, and the source will be index.js, like so. We want to specify a differ. We use differ here, so it will load up the script after some time, not immediately, not line by line coding, but after the HTML gets loaded up, the script will get into action. So for that, to check that it is successfully created, let's just create a thing so that we can see that index.js is properly linked to our html. So for that, let's see what is the heading or anything that we have specified here. So let's give it an ID here, like say heading. So for checking only, I am using this ID. So for that, we'll have to just document.get element by ID, and we'll give it a heading and just see whether it actually acts or not. So once I save it, you can see it has disappeared. That means our index.js is properly working. So just remove it, and now our index.js is properly linked to it. So now let's head over to index.js and let's just make our JavaScript into action. So the first thing we need to do here is that when we click any of these images, something should happen. Okay, so for that we will need to specify that. So for that, first let me just make here ID of the same name rock, and here I will make another ID of naming paper, and similarly here I'll be giving ID of scissor, like so. So now just let's go to index.js, and here we'll be doing document dot query selector, and here we'll be giving the part that we are going to do, that is rock. Here I'll select it, and the thing it will do is that whenever we are going to click, for that we'll have a add event listener, and here it will have a click. When you click, then a function should be generated, that is, let's say I name it as rock. So for that, let me create a user choice variable first. So let's not initialize now. So whenever we click on this rock, this function will get executed. This statement means that, and this is the ID that we have specified here, as you can see, that is the rock. And so for that, we'll have to now create header for this rock function. So now just let's create this rock function, like so. And here, whenever we'll click on this, the user choice will be now set to rock, like so. So now the next thing is that we'll have to do is after this gets selected, the bot will come into play. So for that, we'll make another function, that is a bot. Let's say naming bot, my bad, sorry, bot, and here we'll pass the user choice. So now we'll create a function that is of bot. So we're having here user choice, like so. So similarly, if we talk about when you click on a rock, user choice becomes rock. So when you click on paper, similarly this will become paper. So for that, we'll have to also create simultaneous clickable events like we have made for rock, and here will only be like paper, and this will be scissor. Use typical naming conventions that will help in coding you, not that give totally different names. So like so. So now similarly we'll create functions like this only. So for a paper and for Caesar as well. So let's give it paper and this one as Caesar. So when the paper will be clicked, the user's choice will be paper, and when the Caesar will be clicked, the user's choice will be Caesar, like so. And now the main thing is that we have to create for user choice. So what will be choice? The choice will be of it can choose from three only: rock, paper and Caesar. For that it will be better if we give a random function here, so that it will randomly choose the numbers. So for that, for mapping, we'll have to first create a const choices, let's say. So let's create an array. So for 1, let's say it is mapping to rock, and for 2 it is mapping to that is paper. For 3 it is mapping to scissors, like so. So when it will create a random number of 1, it will be mapped to rock. When it will create a random number of 2, it will be mapped to paper, like so. So for that, to get the choices here, so we'll create a choice here, like so, and that will be math dot floor, and this will be math dot random, like so, and this will be into 3. That is, we have to specify just one more than that, because we have specified here, oh my bad, this will be 0, this will be 1, and this will be 2. You could also do like 3 plus 1 if we're starting from indexing from 1 to 3, but I have already changed to 0 1 2, so it is let's keep it only 3 only. So what this function essentially does is that it will generate numbers only from 0 1 and 2. So once it generates the number, the choices will be in it. So what the choice is actually of the bot. So let's create a bot choice that will be gained, or that will be stored in bot choice after mapping it. So for that, we'll first make a choices that we have made here, and in that we'll pass the random number here that the bot has selected. So now we got the bot choice. So for a basic testing, if we do that, like if I do the bot choice is equal to user's choice, so what will the user's choice be? The user's choice will be either paper, rock or Caesar. Okay, similarly, if the bot choice can be user, paper, rock, paper or Caesar. So if this becomes equal, then the document dot get element by id of id as a result, I can say that I have not created in the HTML. We'll create it soon in our HTML. We'll say it as draw, like so. That is it. So before heading over to check that, let's just create this element with id result. So here I will create another h4 tag, and here I will give id, that is result I have created just here. So like so, I will create this one and save this one. Now this will not reflect every time because we have not mentioned all the conditions, and sometimes the bot choice and user choice may be equal and sometimes it cannot be equal. So for that, let's try and see if somehow randomly it comes or not. No, it doesn't comes. Let's click it randomly. Yeah, one time it came only. So that is the thing I was talking about. So this was a quick check about how this works. So after this being done, we'll similarly specify the other conditions, like so, and we know all these conditions because we are familiar with all of this game we played since a long time from our childhood also. So let me just elaborate it a bit. So what I'm doing here is when I have rock, and when the bot has rock and I essentially have Caesar, then I by means of the game I lose it. Similarly, when I have paper and the user has rock, I win it. Similarly, I have specified some of the conditions like so, and you can go through it and understand them. So after this we have, let's save it and let's check how it goes. So that means the bot has selected here, it can select more than one, that is a rock. When I win, like when I see here, like I win when I have paper and the bot has rock, or when I have Caesar it has paper, or when I have rock and the bot has Caesar. So out of these three, only one of the conditions is true. So for that, after this, so the next thing we have to do is that when I head over to project, so you can see when I click it, we see this that we have already created, but we haven't changed our main division that we have created. So the essential things that are displayed here is our choice and the bot choice. So for that we'll have to create another function. So let's just create here, that is, let's set up section, let's call it as setup section, and let's pass here, I'll pass here our user's choice and our bot choice. So once it's done, let's create a function of this name. So function, that is setup section, like so, and this will be having user choice and bot choice, like so. And once it's done, we'll now head over to the function. So the first thing we need to do is that we'll have to essentially clear those previously built elements. Okay, so in order to do that, we'll have to first head over to our index.html and just see what the division we have done, that is section. Okay, so we'll just go here and just to let x is equal to document dot get element by id, that is we have mentioned as section. So now we'll do x dot style dot display and set it to none. So essentially what we'll do is that whenever we click it, this division will disappear, and the new divisions, that is the choice that we have selected and the bot choice, will be displayed here. So let's save it and see what it happens. So when I click here, you can see this totally gets removed, this section totally gets removed, and we can only see this. So this is not the thing we wanted. We also want our choice and the bot choice. So for that, let's create elements, like this is my element 1, and this will be document dot create element, create element, and this would be image. Okay, this would be image, and this image will have a source that we haven't specified yet, and this will also have alternate, that is that is rock, that is not rock, sorry, the element or alternative what we'll have here is that our user's choice. So just pass here user's choice. So to pass our variables, we use asterisk, not asterisk but the backticks. Okay, so for that, let's use backticks, like so, and use dollar symbol, curly braces, and now you can pass our user's choice, like so, and it will have the user's choice alternatively. You can see when you save it, when I click here, we're not seeing it here because it is not being created an element. We don't have any divisions in which we can add this element. So for that, we'll have to first create division. So let's create division. So let's give it id of result div, like so, and for that, let's head over here and let's just close this one to avoid unnecessary garbages seeing in the screen. So the first thing we need to do here is that we'll have to append this in that to see it in our page. So for that, we'll have to now document dot get element by id, and we have created res div, like so, and here we'll dot append child, and what will be the child we are going to append, that is really like so. And let's just save it, and whenever I click it, you can see we got this one. Okay, so similarly, as we have styled this one in the center by using display flex, we are going to similarly do this for this also. For this result div, instead of creating a new styling effect, we can just add it over here like so, res div like so, and here you can see it has got center and also got some equal margins from left and right also. Now similarly, as we have created these elements for our choice, we'll have to also create the elements for the bot choice. So let's copy here and let's just pass it here again, and just give this as ELE2 like so, and this will be not the user's choice, it will be the bot's choice. And let's save it and let's just see how it goes. Whenever I click here, you can see it's rock. This is because we haven't appended the child, that is ELE2, in this res div. So for that, we'll have to just again copy and paste here, and we'll have to just append ELE2 like so. And whenever we go here and click here again, we can see we have chosen rock, and we have chosen, the bot has chosen the scissor like so. So the last part we are left with is that giving this the images. So for that, I have already the images with me. You can also download it from the internet you like. So for that, let me just go to my images folder where I have kept that one. This one is the folder. Let's just copy it and let's just paste in the directory I have created like so. So it is now pasted, and it will be soon reflected in our VS Code. So as you can see, it has already been here showing here images folder. So now we'll have to specify the sources or the path where it is present. So for specifying the path, we can specify the path of the image like dot slash, it is in the images, and we'll have to select for rock like so, and you can see it has got the image of rock. Similarly, we can do it for paper and also for scissor like so. And when I save it, we can see it is getting a whole lot of it. So in order to manage that, we'll specify certain width and height to our images. So for that, we'll go to style.css, and here we can write image of width of 100 pixels, and it seems very short. I think let's give it 200, no, let's give it 150, and height maybe 200 pixels like so. And yeah, it looks good, not bad. And let's give it a padding of 10 pixels from all. Yeah, so like so. And whenever I click here, we go showing our choice and the boss choice, but we are not having the address of that. So in order to do that, as we have specified in the index.html that our sizes or the sources here as follows, similarly we have to specify this in this index.js. So for that, let's head over here, and we'll have to pass the sources here. So for that, we'll have to use dot slash like so. We have done their images slash. What will be this slash will be the user's choice, that is the rock or anything, and appended with dot jfif as we have did here. So this value will be replaced by user's choice. We have created here the variable with in the index.js here. So let me just copy it, and here we'll essentially give here backtext for passing those variables. So here we'll give a $sign, and here we'll give the user's choice and appended with jfif. I think it is jfif. Let me just recheck. Yeah, it's jfif. I'll just copy this one, and similarly I'll paste it here also like so. And this will be not the user's choice, but it will be the bot's choice. Yeah, so let's save it, and I think it's done. Let's click on it. Yeah, we can see here the ours choice, that the user's choice and the bot's choice, and we're also getting the image down. So for playing again and again, we can select here like so images, and like this. Well, we are left with one of the last things, like we can see the background a bit dull and this image is a bit bright, so that we can see a clickable event where you can click those images. We can have those borders in. So in order to see that, we'll have to head over to styles, and we'll have to just specify the body is background color. The background color should be, let it be antique white. No, it seems very dull. Let's give it a bit off-white color, like so. Yeah, it seems like it is exact, not exact, but yeah, it's looking good. So when we click on it, we are going here, we see it's draw. Whenever we are going to papers, we are seeing again it's draw, and yeah, oh, it's again draw. What is doing? So hope you liked my video. Learning this game would help you a lot, I think so. So if you liked my video, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Till then, stay tuned.